that a compliment is a compliment. Take it where you can get it. Lord knows,
Even if it comes from somebody who is basically up into space with his mind at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought that was going to be the transition to the
I,
next
I, I
show.
was I was considering I mean, here's the thing, I wanted to make it the transition, but then I was like, oh, this has so low energy, dude. So I was like,
Dude.
dude, hello and welcome, dude, to the Awkward Cast, which is an acronym, which is like big word, but it means like every letter stands for a word, dude, which is like
And that's what
awkward.
awkward
It's like
stands for.
A and Y and keyframe, but the end is not in there, so you don't do the end. Otherwise, it would be AWKWARDCast. So keyframe, the frame is also not in there. Otherwise, it would be AWKWARDCast. Where was I? Actually, lost track of keyframe. Wonder about random drivel. And those fingers are letters and they spell awkward. Dude.
I was gonna make the joke of like we should do one episode where we're
On
both
drugs.
high, doing like a Cheech and Chong episode, just getting high. Now I'm realizing maybe that's not the best idea. If this is you sober, I don't want to know what I know.
But here's the thing. I mean, the one time I got my hands on edibles and it went
Yeah.
horrifically wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because those fuckers didn't warn me, even so I explicitly pointed out that I'm new to it. And we were in a park on the other end of Berlin, and I had plans for the day and the evening and the next day, so I was just pissed the entire time. So we do not know how chill
What happy high is
exactly.
Like...
And when I smoked it before, I have this thing that I'm, believe it or not, like to be in control at the very least of my own facilities.
Shocking.
So I know, which is why my mind keeps fighting the effect. So at the end of the day, I don't know, I believe I had a really nice one years ago. But yeah, not in recent history. So it would be interesting to see how old man Ayn Wye reacts to it when he is not pissed about it.
Fighting for control is me with alcohol, but like the one time I had edibles, I had too much. That's the thing. I need to know what it's like to be high with the proper amount and not the hey, I thought that these were 5 milligrams each, not 50 each. Oops. Why does my mouth feel like sand? Like I want to go. And what's a better experience than awkward? I just feel like we are terrible at sticking out a topic already. Yeah, unless we become the type of high where you get hyper fixated and the entire show is about one subject. It's just
again,
there's two pathways, but that is not this show. That is not this episode.
No.
We are violently sober today.
I mean, I had a glass of wine for dinner earlier, so I'm technically. I have a German metabolism.
A glass of wine for you is like water, so
basically, yeah. I have been trained my entire life.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do I have? And all I have, I think, is like a small bottle of. I mean, like.
And a big secret, audience, a big secret. You see this decanter, and my tumbler I drink out of. It's just tap water, in case nobody ever figured it out.
I took a sip out of this vodka bottle for a bit, and now I don't want to all.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that I also now wonder, if there has ever been a viewer who was like, whoa, is this dude just drinking an entire decanter of vodka
is he Russian?
or
like, what's
corn?
up with him?
Like, I don't think that everybody ever had this idea while watching, but now I envision this viewer.
There has to be one who's like,
exactly, not a constant follower. Maybe somebody who tuned in when it was on YouTube the first time or something. And they're like, oh, what is Ayn Wye up to? I subscribed to him like 10 years ago when Pony...
What's he up to? Wow, he became an alcoholic. He's a very functioning
oh my god,
one.
he keeps drinking it.
Oh, that was like bad mouthwash. Like all the burn, none of the mint. I don't understand people who can drink straight vodka. I put vodka in a lot of things. I don't know how you can drink it straight.
Yeah. You need to have Eastern European genes for it.
It just doesn't taste good. That's the thing. There's no... What's the flavor? Burning?
That's the thing. Ironically, vodka is taste and flavorless. So it's really just alcohol. It's just the burn. Yeah, it's the flavor is literally just the burn.
It tastes like how rubbing alcohol smells.
Yeah.
And that's why I put it in my body with orange juice.
Huzzah.
Anyway, so it's a Just Us episode.
It is.
And we're both at peak health, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I guess because it's topical and whatnot, to address the art of the week early.
So
especially since we already talked about it earlier before I went live with the pre-show, and I was, oh no, we are losing great pre-show content here. Because sorry for last week. I was this last week, so I'm not entirely sure. I was wondering if I saw some disguised ninja person break into my bedroom and crawl along the ceiling, and then suddenly started scribbling. Yeah, it was Noisy Paper Dragon. He apparently broke in, because this is a 100% accurate depiction of me. Especially since the cartoonish cooling bag
ice pack
is actually a thing that totally exists.
I mean, there is ones that exist that look like that.
But they're not a thing in Germany.
I had an ice pack. Now it's back in the freezer. But yeah, so we were out a couple weeks ago because it was my birthday, and me and Max went on. Yeah, and me and Max went on Chrissy and Max adventures, and it was a great time until the day we left. And it was the thing of my nose was stuffy. I was like, oh, must be allergies. It wasn't. So like. It was just a stuffy nose. So I was like, what? Okay, this is fine. And then as soon as I dropped Max off with his flight and I walk outside the airport to wait for Golden to pick me up, I was like, this hurts a bit. And then we're driving home. Oh, my body hurts. Then we're home. Oh, I don't feel good. And I text Max being like, hey, if you start to feel bad, let me know. And he's like, I feel fine.
Flight is going fine. I even got some nap time in. All good.
And then...
Famous last words.
And then he got sick. It was my fault. It was me. I was the harbinger of... I blame them. Zero. No. Patient Zero was somewhere... My game theory is that one of those kids at the fucking aquarium had ick. Caught. Because, I guess, like, we could talk about Chrissy and Max adventures. So when we were in California, when we were in LA and Long Beach and the areas we were in, one of the things we did was we went to the aquarium because I wanted to do that for my birthday. So we're going and it's fun. And then I look around and I'm like, man, it's more full than I would expect it to be on a Tuesday. It's getting fuller. What the fuck is happening? Apparently every school in Long Beach, California decided to have a field trip on that day. Because there were so many groups of school children. And it was still fun, but I'm like, okay, no, there can't be that much of a collection of children and there not be something sick there. Kids are petri dishes with legs. So it's like, I feel like it was either that or me getting bit by that one bird maybe gave me the flu. Because, Yeah, we had impeccable timing at the aquarium, not just with the field trip. We went to go feed the lorikeets, which are, crab, which are like little birds, and you feed them nectar. I guess we came right at their lunchtime or something because none of them wanted it.
They were so uninterested.
We got a few, but there was one that I was holding it up to, and he bit me. And, it wasn't a hard bite, but it was still just like well, you're a little bastard, aren't you? So maybe he gave me the ick.
Look at this pirate lady having a shoulder bird. I did it again, damn it. I know I did it. I wanted to open it in a fresh tab so that I actually can safely go through the photo album without giving all the good photos away.
Yes, I was able to get a bird on my shoulder. That was a good bird. He really wanted that. I was trying to move the little thing to my other hand, and I just saw him. He was like, "Meh, don't you dare." There were a few good birds, but yeah, we were like walking, and then we turned our head, and they all are eating out of troughs with probably the same nectar.
Yeah, that was like...
The bird didn't break my skin.
Hey, bird, do you want to have the thing you can have already unlimited access to?
But also have to be socializing?
Exactly, and the bird was like, hell no.
But it was still a fun time. I mean, I love the aquarium. I love looking at the weird creatures that somehow inhabit our planet, especially those giant coconut crab things. Spider crabs. Those things are terrifying. They shouldn't exist.
Oh, by the way, your outfit just got complimented.
Oh, I love the box. Oh, the other shirt. Oh, that was a cool thing, though. When we were getting our tickets for the aquarium, the lady who was giving our tickets was like, "Oh, I love your Voxer." I was like, "Oh, you're a Has-Been fan?" And we just started talking about Has-Been and having the same opinions, especially about Adam. So, I'm glad. It was also the, was it when we were in Little Tokyo? Or was it when we were at the aquarium's gift shop that you were making fun of me because I wasn't buying things for myself again? Because
could be either.
It was because I bought a pair of socks with an octopus on them, and I also bought like a little Pokemon figure in Little Tokyo. And at one of those places, Max was just like, "Man, I'm so glad that you're buying something for yourself."
Oh, yeah, okay.
They were not for me. They were for denim.
Yeah, being relevant. But yeah. I also might have another culprit who gave you the icky.
Who gave me the icky?
The ghost of Queen Mary!
Oh yeah, that was a fun escape room.
Yeah.
So,
I guess we can properly advertise them because they deserve it.
Yes, so it's a Escape Long Beach, and it's a small one. There's only 2 rooms. We did like the eco-terrorist one the last time we were in Long Beach, and we did pretty well on that, except for that final puzzle, because we're dumb. But then we did the second one, which is basically you go inside the Queen Mary, and you have to, solve the puzzles before the literal Queen Mary or Queen Victoria turns you into a part of their ghostly crew. Woo! And it was fun. I will say, like, no spoilers for the room, but I love the person who was getting us into the room because he was having a great time with his role of little bastard. Though my favorite thing was we solved one of the puzzles by accident.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's I don't think that's brute forcing.
No.
I think it's just that we think in an alternative way.
Yeah. I mean, ironically, there was a map in the room, and there was a certain hint how to handle the map, but we never found the hint. But it was like, it's a map. We just did. We just be like, okay, that's the map. That's probably where we need to go. So we just followed the path, and it unlocked the thing. So just by logic, we figured it out.
Though I will say, I'm very proud. We didn't need a single hint in that room. True. I think that's the first time I ever did a room with someone where I didn't need a hint ever.
Yeah. And 11 minutes to spare.
I will say, I'm sure that the DM watching us was having a fun time because there was a boat with a magnet, and there was a safe, and there was a very uncomfortable amount of time of trying to use that magnet boat.
It reacts to it. It must be the safe somehow.
And not the fact that the safe is metal.
Yeah, at some point I was like, yeah, but if the magnet would do something with the safe, but the entire safe is metal and therefore the magnet just sticks to it, how is it supposed to have a mechanism that gets triggered? If the entire thing This was my own thought process. I mean, I was one of the people who keep like, it must be the safe, it must be the safe.
I know. I'm saying that we were both both dumb here.
Yeah, and at some point I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. It wouldn't trigger a mechanism if the entire thing is just metal. Are we maybe idiots?
Are we? It's not even. But Lauren wasn't even there.
But as you can see, first of all, for context, the Queen Mary is an actual ship named after the Queen Mary, which is in the port of Long Beach. There it is.
Yes. And we actually got to go on it because after we solved the thing, I was like, let's go get drinks. There's a bar on the Queen Mary.
Exactly. So we got victory drinks in the actual bar on the Queen Mary, looking back at Long Beach and being like, haha, fuck you guys, we're on a boat now.
And my favorite things about being on that boat, besides the drinks were actually really good. Whatever the like lime juice one that I had, so good. But was us trying to figure out what was someone's gorilla's hoodie without asking them, and we were just staring at them. And then there was this lovely teacher person who was on the boat. Me and her got to talking. With the usual thing of once the person I'm with walks away, I tend to become my bard senses kick in, and I have to become friends with everyone in the immediate vicinity. The other thing though, I wish I took a picture, because there was like a nursery area on the way to the restroom.
Wait.
Oh, did you take a picture?
Do you mean this nursing area?
I fucking hate that. It's straight out of why is Annabelle on the fucking couch? I think the worst one is like go to the front of it. The one in the little playpen is terrible. I hate it. Why? I know this is accurate for the time.
That's why.
I know it's a children's playroom replica. However, how damaged were these? This is a thing that I also get with 80s toys. This goes away from what we did during the week. This just goes into one of my own tangents. It's just, why are old toys terrifying? Like, who designed them? And who thought, like, what conditioning happened in the brains of children of that generation to think that those looked pleasant? If someone gave me dolls that looked like that as a kid, I'd be terrified.
That's where all the boomers come from.
I mean,
they grew up with that to play with.
I mean, 80s and 90s kids also grew up with some really Furbies. Yeah, like
Garbage Pail Kids.
Furbies, Garbage Pail Kids, Cabbage Patch Dolls. Those babies are terrifying looking. Like, when you actually put on your hands how many like gross, weird, and ugly dolls there were in the 80s and 90s, and then the aesthetically pleasing ones, you'll find a very unbalanced ratio. Because like, what's some aesthetically or just not terrifying ones? G.I. Joes, like fucking Care Bears and MLP, because those are literally bears and horses. Like He-Man, I guess. But it's just like, are you not damaged? Are you okay? Gen Xers and older Xers, millennials. Yeah. Like, are y'all right? Did you drink out of the garden hose enough or whatever people brag? I've been seeing trends of Gen X people being like, back in my day, our parents just let us run around unsupervised for hours. And if we were thirsty, we didn't go inside to get a drink. We just drank out of the garden hose. That's not a brag. your parents were neglectful.
I drink out of the garden hole.
I mean, I did, but also I'm not saying that was a good thing of parenting.
I mean, there was a lot of like wee with the garden hole happening, and eventually something got into your mouth. But are we currently giving our dates of birth, our ages, or what's happening then?
I would recommend people don't. That's more of a security question. But no, and
it keeps going. It keeps going. Look at all those people giving their ages in the chat.
I have like, people don't need to know what year I was born. I am beyond birth. You know, I just came to be in the universe at an unspecified time and location, which makes getting the passport kind of difficult, but you know.
The entire out of security reasons you should maybe not went over everybody's head. I'm a great role model.
God, we really are just a shoulder devil and shoulder angel.
I do crack the big 4 this year. Wish me luck. I will instantly turn grey and shriveled.
Oh, I thought you were... What, are you going to be like Mother Gothel at the end of Tangled?
Basically, yeah, that's what happens at 40. Look it up. It's a very well-known thing that on your 40th birthday, especially people who keep their young and attractiveness going for so long, it will instantly catch up within 24 hours, and then you look like a retiree for the next 30 years. And if you make it far enough to make it another 30 years, so you're 70 now, then is when the next metamorphosis happens, and you turn into... You have seen this anime. It's actually a very, very good documentation. Why are we still staring at those dolls? Here, have something more pleasant to look at.
There you go.
But yeah, then a very well-documented thing that through anime... Now, you know how you have all those people who are just big strapping fellows and ladies in their adulthood, and then as retirees they are suddenly like a third of their body height, and not because they are bent over, they just turn into chibi characters. This is literally what happens when you make it old enough. The thing is, most people don't make it that far, so they just stay in the retiree age, or it happens a little bit later. Maybe it happens at 100. So the moment you hit 100,
or you become like one of those 1,000-year-old dragon lollies or something. Like,
I mean, if I'm not sure if you have won or failed the lottery of the gene pool at this point, because on the one hand you get your youthfulness back, but on the other hand you overshoot the goal by a decade or two to still look legal.
I'm just saying, like, look, Chris Hemsworth is over 40. Halle Berry is almost 60.
They don't count. They are stars. They drink the blood of virgins.
I don't want to think that, because one of my biggest celebrity crushes is Christian Borle, and he's in his 50s. He's the voice of Vox. So, you know, I have a type. But, like, and I think he looks better with age. It's just, I don't fear aging. I want to age faster.
Spoken like, wait, no, you're actually already in the late 20s, so.
Yes,
I was about to say, spoken
30s.
like a true early 20s.
I'm past that, like, because look, I've been saying this stuff since I was in my early 20s. That you can call me out on spoken like a true early 20s person. No, I'm almost 30. And, you know, I've been through enough life experiences for like 4 30-year-olds. I think I'm fine. You look 19? How dare you? Max looks 21. I mean, that reminds me of one time we went to Knott's Berry Farm. This wasn't during this trip, but we went to Knott's Berry Farm, and there was a person on like the boardwalk thing who was like, "Hey, I will guess your age," and all this stuff. And you know, you paid them, and if they guess your age wrong, you get a prize. And I was like, "Look, I don't want a prize. Can you guess our ages? I just want to know." And he was like, "I think you're," pointing to me, 32. He looks like he's 26. And I was like,
"Hello, fellow kids."
This wasn't long ago. This was like 2019 or something. This was not in the far off past. So at that point, I would have been like 22, 23. So, you know.
So she picked up the right aura age-wise, but then she switched it by accident.
Well, I mean, I'm of the full opinion that most guys that I know act a lot younger than their biological age.
Yeah, that's
so,
just a guy
you know.
thing.
What? Why? Who raised you?
We don't waste our time maturing. We just stay immature until the
and
very
you make
end.
It everyone else's problem.
You know it. But yeah, what else is there to talk about?
Let's see. I mean, we've exhausted pretty much everything on the trip.
That is true.
Let's see. I mean, we could start talking about media stuff.
Cool.
Oh, I do want to say a quick aside about a thing that has been an in-joke with me and my friends for a while, and Max actually got to experience a little bit of it. So I have a group of friends, which is Salty DK Dan's group. So Derek and Gerber and all these people. And an in-joke I've had with them for months is constantly pitting Max's ferret Rocket against Gerber's dog Rocket. Because Gerber's just like, no, that ferret is a false rocket. There's only one rocket in the world, and it's an elderly beagle.
Nope,
and
it's instead an elderly ferret.
And it was just very funny to finally have, like, the true confrontation of it all, because me and Max and that literally friend shack of people were watching the Oscars one night. So it was just yeah, we were. And we drank $10 sake that may or may not have made you nauseous the entire night.
Yep.
It didn't make me nauseous,
it's
so it had
like,
to be something else.
It's almost like cheap booze is cheap for a reason. It could just be that your abnormal tolerance against anything like booze or spicy or whatever
just didn't
it didn't register. Yeah, it didn't register.
Because we were in Little Tokyo for a bit, and there was a little grocery store, and we were walking through and we saw the sake aisle, and there were just these gigantic bottles of sake for like $8. What do you mean I can't handle? How dare you? I didn't get sick from that. I got sick from kids at the aquarium, but there were just these giant bottles, and we were just standing there for a good 10 minutes being like, I mean, we could. Should we?
But then we have an entire 1.5 liter bottle. I'm not sure what this is and whatever you guys use over there, but yeah, 1.5 liter bottle of. If it tastes disgusting, then what about it? And I mean, at the end of the day, what finally made me cave was when you pointed out, if it tastes bad, then I will take it home since I don't have to fly, and then I can make it turn into a mixed drink. And I'm like, yeah, okay. If we don't waste it, then sure, get it.
Okay, I don't like the slander here. I don't get. Let me find out. Let me find out. Key can get hungover from drinking lemonade. I will give myself this. I don't get hungover
from alcohol, but from lemonade.
I
don't know. I'm just. Is it not? Please continue. What? So you don't get hungover from alcohol? I'm waiting. I
don't get hungover in general. But no, it was the thing of the next day or something, Max was being like, did you drink any water last night? I was like, no, I was drinking a clear liquid. And he was like, yeah, cup after cup of sake, but you didn't drink any water. I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, what, you're not hungover? It's like, no. He's like, oh, it's just, I don't get hungover. I can drink quite a bit. I get drunk fast and I sober up fast. It's a terrible, terrible condition. I can't drink because of heart problems. Well, God, no, that's mean. My natural response to things is saying, well, sucks to suck. No, I'm sorry for your innate skill issue. Lord knows I have my own. I have a skill issue in ways of lungs and knees. There's a question for the Q&A segment. What's your skill issue? Yeah, but media. Let's see.
Yeah, I got one, which I don't know. Maybe we can both talk about it. We will know in a moment. So I did get to watch The Thing.
I have not yet.
You have not watched The Thing.
I'm a bad sister. I haven't watched Lauren's movie yet.
Yeah, because
I haven't gone to the cinema because I still need to also go see Frozen Empire, the new Ghostbusters movie. I just haven't left my house.
Yeah, this wasn't out in Germany just yet, I believe. But yeah, with that movie, since you mentioned it, so I went with Denim to see it, and we were like, okay. We are pretty sure Lauren has worked on it. This is why she is going so super enthusiastic, shilling for it on Twitter, but out of true passion, so is it then shilling? But yeah, let's look for her. I believe this is her last name. I don't think it's a secret since she is a publicly known figure at it, but still, I'm pretty sure this is her last name. And then we were sitting there. I believe in my entire life I have never so intently watched the credits, because even if I watch credits with an intent, it's usually just the beginning about the actors, never about somebody further down in the crew. Exactly. And then we were like, whoa, there she is. I'm pretty sure that's her.
And she's like a solo thing.
Yes, she's a not
production coordinator.
Production coordinator. So
yeah, and she was the only production coordinator. Then there were the underlings. So yeah.
Yep. So it was like, whoa, girl.
Yeah, so if you go watch Kung Fu Panda 4, you're supporting three idiots in a way. You're supporting one of the three.
I mean, I'm not sure if she gets personal residuals for everybody watching the movie.
She gets personal vindication with people watching it.
No. For every person who goes to the cinema, and if you walk up to the counter and then you are like, I am here to watch Kung Fu Panda 4 on behalf of the Abby Rhodey who worked on it, and I like her. And then the guy in the booth is legally required to then take a little note, send this note back to DreamWorks, and then DreamWorks sends small residuals to their production coordinators. That's how the system works.
I thought you were gonna go in the direction of they write a little note and send it to the local psychiatric hospital so you can get some admittance later.
I have the feeling Fidel is actually wants to hear something about the movie and not about us just shooting the shit about it. No. So I
don't
also
be spoilery.
No, I won't be. No worries. The funny thing is, because we are a little bit behind in good old Europe, it was already out for a little bit in the US before we actually could even go watch it. So the YouTubers already got on it. And I just saw the day before we had the tickets for the movie, I see a Saber Spark video, Kung Fu Panda 4, disappointing. And I'm like, no, stop it. I want to go to Saber. Go away, Saber.
Oh, look, I love Saber. He doesn't always have the best takes.
Here's the thing. So we then watched the movie. We had a brilliantly good time. So we were like, we were entertained throughout. We got some good laughs out of it. We were on board with all the characters. So nothing that instantly stuck out to us while watching, where we were like, oh, there goes my immersion, bye. No, good time, beginning to end. So then afterwards, we watched the Saber video, and the points he raised about some plot hole thingies and some stuff were like, yeah, okay, he has a point. But it didn't disturb the viewing experience at the time, at least not for us. So, it's not the twist. News, breaking news. Movie not perfect. But If I would rank it, if I would rank it, I believe. I mean, second Kung Fu Panda is probably still the best.
I mean, the second Kung Fu Panda is also just one of the best DreamWorks movies of all time.
Exactly. So second Kung Fu Panda, the best. I dare to say that the first one probably comes after, followed by number 4. And number 3 is then still a good movie. That's the thing. There isn't a bad Kung Fu Panda out there yet. So please let it be fine after this one, okay? Okay? DreamWorks, 4 is a good number to stop. Don't continue the franchise until it sucks. Please.
I just think I've just seen so many people get on a hatred about this fucking movie, and I haven't even seen it, but some people are comparing it to that awful Megamind sequel that came out. I'm like, come on, guys.
Thankfully.
Oh,
I'm a big Megamind fan, so that's why I'm so scared of it now.
The Megamind thing is like, I discourage Megamind fans from watching it because I watched it, and I'm a Megamind fan. Well, no, it's just thing of I got angry. Like I was legit like mad at how much that movie just completely like almost decanonized 80% of what made Megamind a likable character. Like I'll talk about that after, but like no, it's just like I don't know. This is a general thing. This isn't a Kung Fu Panda 4 thing. Why is there all... I've had this question. Why does it feel like there's always this expectation of animated films that they always have to be these like big artistic and narrative statements? Why can't it just be a fun movie? And I feel like there is more of an expectation from animation fans that every animated film has to basically reinvent the wheel and be this big piece of art and stuff compared to live action movies. Cause like, you know, there's stuff like Oppenheimer and Barbie and stuff. And then there's stuff like The Hangover Part 2. Both are decent viewing experiences for different reasons. But why is live action allowed to be fun and stupid, but we don't allow that for the animated ones? And yet yet normies say that animation's always for children. I don't know. To me, I just heard that this movie is fun. And that's all it needs to be. Poe's arc is done. like Kung Fu Panda 3 put a really good bow on top of Poe's arc. I don't feel like there was really...
Yeah, that's maybe something that you can say about the movie, that the continuation, the sequel to his arc, so his arc for this movie feels a little bit like a stretch, but nothing more. It was like, I could swear when they do introduce it in the beginning of the movie, I was a little bit like, really? Really? That's okay, that's happening fast kind of thing. Again, there were... if I keep thinking more and more about it, there were a few, again, all smaller things, like we had teleporting characters. Characters are at one point are like, oh, okay, we need to do a thing. Are at another point, so they split up at one point. They go. We don't follow this group, but we follow the other group. The other group goes then to a completely different place at the other end of the city, talk to a bunch of people, and then manage to teleport back and catch up with the other group, which is like, that was a little bit of a, how did this work out kind of moment. But smaller things that in the moment don't rip you out of the experience. So again, still, by my ranking earlier, I would not say it's the strongest Kung Fu Panda movie, but it's still a good movie, and it's still a good Kung Fu Panda movie. I had a great time watching it, and yeah, good movie.
And hey, it got Jack Black to sing a Britney Spears song, which
also
is
true.
And that cover is on my playlist. It's so good. It has no right to be as good as it is, but it's Tenacious D.
Yeah, but
I mean, maybe this just says the thing. We need a new Tenacious D movie.
Hmm.
I think it's time. I want the with the godlike old men that they are now.
But maybe one more on a more personal note about Kung Fu Panda 4 before we move on, because I went in despite following Abby on Twitter and therefore getting every single piece of official information about this thing in my timeline twice a week. Despite that, I went in relatively blind, as in, like, I had seen the Fox Girl and I liked the design of the Fox Girl, but when the Fox Girl opened her mouth and I was like, looking over to Denon, that's Awkwafina again, isn't she?
Yes,
it's Awkwafina.
Awkwafina.
I did not expect this voice.
She gets everywhere.
That's the thing. I did not expect this voice to come out of the little Fox Girl. And as the local furry, the local straight furry, I don't know, Awkwafina is not necessarily a sex icon for me. So when Awkwafina's voice came out of the voice. I know, but it's like, I know her well enough. I've seen enough movies with her. I like her, especially as a comedy actress. But it's not like I like her. It's more like, hey, it's Awkwafina. Nice, bro. And therefore, realizing, oh no, the fox is Awkwafina. Damn it, the fox just became less fuckable.
My thing is just... But it's just a voice. Like, it's just...
But it's still Awkwafina.
It's a thing of...
But
is that...
That's a fair point.
Is that... I don't know.
She
to me,
doesn't-
I've had characters where I like their voices and stuff, but objectively, the actor is not the type that I would pick as someone I would find personally attractive.
And I guess something to be completely fair about, it was not a typical Awkwafina character. It was her voice, and it was instantly that's Awkwafina, isn't it? But no, her character is like, it's cheeky, a little bit wisecracky, but it's an overall more serious, grounded character. So yeah, it's maybe I believe it was mostly really the initial moment of, wait a second.
It's such a distinct. She does have a very distinct voice.
Very, yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm,
Anyways, more media, other media.
More media. God, the Megamind 2 movie is so bad. I don't know how we got back to Disney direct-to-video era movies, but we're back, and that's what this movie feels like. It feels like a bad Disney direct-to-video movie from like the early aughts. Ooh. And for one, it looks awful.
I was about to say, I just prepped my usual tabs to show, and I'm just looking at like, what's up with this new character? This face.
It's a ladybug character.
This is a ladybug character.
No, you should look at the other villains that are not on the poster. Their designs look like ladybug villains.
Well, I guess here comes the trailer.
Yeah, it'll probably come up.
Peacock original.
God. They were advertising this like it was a proper sequel. And man, that's a bad sign when they have clips from the original movie as the preceding thing. Because it's so bad. None of the actors come back, by the way.
Oh.
Which is... so no Will Ferrell, no Tina Fey, no David Cross as Minion. And
it all feels so like it doesn't have the aliveness. It has the cheap animation stiffness. Oh no. I see what you mean. Okay. Those are just ladybug villains.
So I don't care about spoilers with this because it is bad. I am not counting this as canon to Megamind because I feel like that would ruin Megamind. So you know how in the first Megamind, the whole backstory is that Megamind doesn't have any friends besides Minion? That, he was ostracized from everyone, raised in prison, all this stuff. So this movie says that Megamind had a former villain team called the Doom Syndicate that he just kind of, I guess, abandoned at some point. And like their whole thing in the movie was like, when you went to prison and you said, just wait for my signal, I didn't think your signal was going to be you becoming the hero of monstrosity, you know. What a way to, you know, what an evil thing to do. Because, yeah, the whole plot is basically Megamind has to keep up his evil appearance so he can stop his former villain friends from taking over the city. And it's like, this retcons so many things in a worse way. And it's like,
is this the right one?
Oh no, see, the thing is, this movie's a pilot for a show, so that's gonna be the show. Which is great, love that. But it's so bad. Megamind is a character that worked only because the movie was written so well, because he's a very easy character to fuck up, and this movie does that. Because it doesn't work, and everyone's putting, and like, no one, I don't know why they got the actor that they got to do Megamind. He doesn't sound right. Like, it doesn't sound like Will Ferrell. You can't tell me that there's no voice double for Will Ferrell.
Okay, let me play a little bit of audio.
Then button down collars.
Okay. Megamind. Is that any way to welcome your old crew?
For some reason,
think I'm a villain.
For some reason, they got Donatello from Rise of the TMNT to be Minion, which is interesting. I don't know how you cannot afford David Cross. That man was in 3 Chipmunks movies. You can't tell me that he was too good for this. But like, but the thing that angers me and shows how much they did not give a shit about any of the stuff in this was, you know, Minion's name is Minion because that's what Megamind named him. DreamWorks
gave him a name.
Is owned by Minion, you know, So, you know, DreamWorks is owned by Universal, that also owns Illumination, who has the yellow Tic Tacs. So, Minion was renamed in this movie. And his new name is Old Chum. Now you think like, oh, maybe Megamind allowed Minion to name himself or something, you know? No! It was literally a joke in the movie being like, oh, there's a brand of food that has Minion as the name of the food, so they sent a cease and desist, and now I have to be named this. So yeah, he's not Minion anymore, which is the dumbest. This movie is dumb. Like, and it's so like violently half-assed. And it sucks coming from a movie that is as good as it is as Megamind. It's like, look, if you're not going to care about this thing, don't make it at all. Because, like, Megamind did good at the box office, but, like, it wasn't gangbusters in terms of money that DreamWorks makes. So it's not like people were... I don't even get this from an investment point of view of making this movie as fast as they did. It's like, if you're going to make a sequel to this that obviously is for a fan base of this movie, you should put effort into it. I love Kung Fu Panda. How do we have 4 Kung Fu Pandas and 1 direct-to-video sequel of Megamind?
Yeah.
I don't watch it. Like, I watched it so you don't have to. I don't recommend this as a riff tracks movie, because it's also just bland.
Oh, lovely.
You get more enjoyment and character fulfillment from a Ladybug episode.
Now wait for it. The show will actually turn out to be good somehow. I doubt it, but it's like, nah, now... I maybe it's also kind of wishful thinking that Mega Man's legacy doesn't end in shit, but like they produce this god awful movie, but then for some reason the lightning struck a second time into the bottle, and the show is actually like, wow, those characters actually now work, that they don't deal with this stupid big movie plot thread, and it's character driven, and the voice actors got their shit together, and suddenly it's good.
My thing is also, though, like, they did a Kung Fu Panda show on Netflix like a year or two ago, and got everyone back for it. Why couldn't they do that with Megamind? Like, you have the money and the resources somewhere. Unless Jack Black just does Poe for free. I don't know how Kung Fu Panda gets so much.
I mean, let's be honest, I wouldn't put it beyond him.
I mean, I wouldn't put it beyond. I'm pretty sure Jack Black is a producer for the Kung Fu Panda movies.
Right. We actually also noticed that he is legitimately a producer, so he paid himself to keep playing Poe.
I mean, it's like Ryan Reynolds being a producer for Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean, he also is just like,
if you love a character and a thing that much, I can understand it. I would do the same thing. But yeah, this movie's bad. I don't recommend it. Don't watch it. I recommend going and watching the first Megamind again.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah. They ran out of money. They used it all to make solid gold swimming pools. Yeah. But no, that was that was something I watched. And yeah, we haven't really started anything new on TV time. We were just continuing our shows, getting through more Moon Girl, getting through more Game Changer, which, by the way, folks, if you haven't watched Game Changer, you need to. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
It's like now when we have TV time and a Game Changer thing happens that makes me burst out laughing, and then I was looking over, what's this? And then afterwards, just like, more Game Changer. Yeah, more Game Changer.
It's so funny. Everyone should watch it. It is a genius concept that the game is kind of different every single time, and the contestants don't know, and they have to figure out what the bit is. I mean, the funniest one is the one where Brennan figures it out at the end. That's all I could say about that one.
Oh, yes.
That one was evil.
We figured it out, or more or less, you figured it out before even the first contestant had figured it out. But then again, it might be the thing of being a sofa millionaire. Like, when you are not in the studio, you can just blurt out your theories, while in the studio they had to be like, be sure before having a guess.
Most certainly.
So they might have figured it out before you, but just needed to try it out first. But my favorite people when they come on Game Changers is Brennan. And, oh God, what's her name? Erica? Like, the deadpan one. Yeah, the deadpan one is also... Then we have Keith, who is actually not Keith, but he looks identical to Keith.
Grant,
Grant,
He's great. I mean, besides the one episode we watched recently, which was a quarantine episode, so, no one's doing okay then. But, like, he is unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Though I don't think there's ever been like a real stinker of a contestant on the show.
No.
There was one that I felt bad for because she seemed so anxiety ridden during it because
during the bell, the running bell run.
Oh, right? There was one episode where the plot of the game was basically doing an I Love Lucy conveyor belt thing, and you have three girls and one at the end, and the one at the end, has to do the tail end of the work, and she seemed like she was about to have a panic attack at any moment. She was good. I was just like, please get her some water. I hope she's okay.
Yeah. She was stressed out beyond anything.
I would be too with that particular game.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, like, there's so many good concepts. I mean, you have ones that the concept should be stupid and bad, but the contestants make them really good. Like the one where they had to just make sounds, and they were like, "What? Make the sound of blank, blank, blank," and it's so stupid, but they make it work. Or what does the mouth want to eat? And you have this giant mouth. Where can I watch it? Oh, so it's on its own streaming service called Dropout, which was made after College Humor went under. And it's only $5 a month. It's a very affordable, and there's like a lot of shows on Dropout. We're watching just Game Changers, but there's like a lot of shows. A lot of them hosted by Sam, and having Brennan suffer because it's hosted by Sam. But yeah, they have like a lot of stuff. They also have like there's a musical improv show on the service that like they do a crossover with Game Changer in a later season. But yeah, there's so much. They also have like, I think they have like 2 D&D shows. Like, it's a really, really fun streaming
Dungeons
service.
and Dragons, Revenging War. I mean, it has Matt Mirth on it, so I assume it's D&D.
It's roleplay. But yeah, it's actually a really good service for just $5, and it's just a bunch of internet people. It's not like particularly. Oh yeah, the Drawfee people. This is Drawfee's also associated with Dropout.
Since they are the dropouts from College Humor, where Drawfee originally started as well.
Yep. So I really recommend getting Dropout because it helps them, and
Game Changer on the very top.
Oh yeah, especially since the new season is currently coming out. We're currently on season 3, which is the 2020 season. They're doing surprisingly well with episodes, given the fact that it's basically Zoom meetings. The first one that they did coming back was insane. Because the whole plot was tell me about yourself, but those formatted into questions, and then there's suddenly this masked figure who's like, basically you're trying to figure out traits of the masked figure to figure out who the masked figure was. And me and Max were just watching it being like, who is it Brennan? No, it's not Brennan. Who is this?
Like, it must be somebody known, because otherwise the entire reveal at the end would not work.
And then the reveal happened, and we were like,
not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell, but it was the reactions we had was, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Why are you here?
Uh-huh.
But it was great. So I recommend fully.
Game Changer,
but yeah, we've been doing Game Changer, Moon Girl, just a bunch of shows. Getting back on Invincible now that that's back. All that. So like yeah.
I have 2 more media to throw out there. That's first impressions so far.
Yeah, because I mean the only other media that I watched is not a happy media. So, I don't like, because I watched that Quiet on Set documentary that just came out, and Jesus fucking Christ, it's a good documentary, but man, you don't feel good watching it. Because it's all about like how kid stars were not treated well at Nickelodeon back in the 90s. And it also was like, it's one of those things, as someone who is raised on specifically the era of Nickelodeon that they're talking about, with all that and Amanda Show and Drake and Josh and stuff, and you're watching it and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Just look at this fucking cover art.
And they really go into, like, the first episode was like a lot of employees at the network, because one of the main people they're talking about is Dan Schneider, who is the producer of a lot of these shows, and the workplace, like, not great stuff. And then you have more of the kid stars back then, and you had like them being like, Dan was weird and all this stuff. Preferred the white cast members to the cast members of color. Was very touchy with Amanda Bynes, and then you go forward, and it gets worse because there was someone worse than Dan Schneider, and then Drake Bell appears, and he talks about what he went through, and it's very like uncomfortable, and you just feel awful because kids shouldn't be in Hollywood. Like, I just feel so bad for them because no one protects them. Because they're just moneymakers to these people, and it's awful. It's a great documentary. I do encourage people to... Not all media is made to make you feel comfortable. And the only way that change can happen is if we're knowledgeable and we listen to the stories told by these people. So I do recommend, if you have the access to watch it, to watch it. It may take you a few sittings to watch it because, my God. But, like, it's good. But, man, I needed some palate cleansers after that, where I was like, I need to just watch videos of puppies. I don't feel good. So what's your two medias? Be the palate cleanser for me.
Yes. Trying to... because I just realized I didn't take any notes so far.
Oh, I mean, like, I guess while you're taking notes. So,
okay, yeah.
Did you get to record your Attack on Titan script?
No, not yet, because while I am obviously a lot better than I was last week, due to the fact that I'm not bedridden and I'm here, still, I mean, you might have noticed that I had one or two coughs throughout, so I was very close to being like, okay, today, can I record it today? Sadly, no. But who knows? Hopefully, maybe at some point.
Y'all should. You guys will like the attack. I proofread the script. It's a really good script on Attack on Titan.
Chaka. The Chaka, as in, like, hopefully, yeah. People.
I'm
see it as
I'm sure people will be so normal in the comments because Attack on Titan fans are so well adjusted and normal.
If it actually makes the rounds. But yeah, we gonna see, I guess. But yeah, quick first impressions, I guess. One thing, I finally, hip with the kids as always, got into Chainsaw Man.
Yes!
Started watching, Man. I don't know how many episodes, I believe 6, we are on, we finished episode 6 earlier, I would say. And we had this very weird moment where it's like, I believe it's the first time we have more or less a full cast together. Yeah, before you saw some cast members like in the opening and kind of in the background, but never really interacting. But we finally got to know all the cast members. We were sitting there and like, oh no. I believe I start liking this character. And then like, oh no, we are starting to like all the characters. Like, the characters in this show, they are something different. They are the show is pleasantly not paint by numbers. On the contrary, there was a boob related cliffhanger. And we speculated how the show would continue for days before we continued watching. And I have to say, the way how they took it, the boob-related cliffhanger, keep in mind, a fucking boob cliffhanger. Yeah. And the way how they took it and what they did with it narratively was like, motherfucker, this was damn well played. Neither of our predictions was completely right, but we're like, damn, they took it places that I did not see coming. So yeah.
Just a question. How do you feel about Makima?
That is
the redhead. The
redhead. Very hard to pinpoint, but yeah, it's like it was like, okay, this fucker here. I love Denji so much. Denji is a 16-year-old kid. Of course, he doesn't look like it because he's an anime character. Anime characters, they are always,
you have to add 5 years to their appearance.
At least they are always. If you see an anime character who looks, behaves, talks, and is in stories that are the ones of a young adult, maybe in their mid-20s, they are high schooler. Of course they are. But so, for the purpose of everything, he is not a high schooler. He is mid-20s, as is everybody. But no, he is still the kid. He is still the horny little idiot anime protagonist, and it's like, oh Jesus, he is so fucking horny.
He is. I love him.
But then as the show continues, we were like, everybody is horny as fuck.
Yep.
This entire show is horny.
Oh, wait till you read the manga. It's worse in the manga, honestly. The manga is so horny on Maine, it's not even funny.
Even horny,
Like,
the show is already so horny. I mean,
I know. We've all seen the scenes, so we know.
it's so horny. But it's not the typical horny. It's not the anime horny where everybody like every.
It's not cheesecake.
Yeah,
it's not cheesecake.
It's not.
It's very naturally horny.
Yeah, every drift of wind that blows up the skirt, or every female character who's obviously a high school girl and therefore wears a uniform. Whenever they jump, we get a panty shot and everything. Like, no, it's. I mean, it's still fan servicey. But
Yeah.
it's not just horny towards the viewer. It's in canon horny. Everybody is fucking horny. It's amazing.
Yeah. It is very amazing. I love it. It's
like-
also it's so funny that one of the most horny animes right now is also one of the best looking. The show is animated so well.
Yeah, it is. Take that, Megamind 2.
Oh, thank God. But like, no, I was asking about Makima, because Makima is one of those characters. I'm not going to say any.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say plot about the thing. I'm talking specifically fandom response, where a bunch of people, when they first saw like pictures or like the first episode of, whatever, they're like, "Ooh, this character is cute looking. I'm going to make cosplays of her and fan art." It's like,
oh no.
And then they read the manga or watch it, and they're like, "I changed my mind. Fuck this bitch."
Because
or my favorite, which was a cosplayer who bought all the pieces but hasn't watched Chainsaw Man yet, and then they watched it and they were like, "I wasted so much money. I can't dress up as this character."
But it's like I assume both of those characters were like instantly adopted by the fans for the aesthetic. But then when the show starts, the dudes are basically what you expect.
Yeah,
but
they're dudes.
But the actually all I also finally got to know the other two girl characters. They also are not necessarily what you expect from them. But Power is also like.
I mean, Power is literally a devil.
Yeah.
So like.
But I mean, like, we all just had this weird phalanx thingy a couple years ago. The Darling of the Phalanx or whatever it was, where we also have basically the trigger one.
Oh, okay, yes, sorry. I was like,
who also
are you
basically have
about?
like the tiny horns and whatnot, and but
Yeah,
I
fair.
love how those two idiots just share a brain cell.
Oh, they are the best kind of couple, which is they are both idiot. It's like if Dumb and Dumber was a straight couple. Like, it's just it works too well.
Yeah. So loving this show so far, and apparently it's getting gooder as we going forwarder. But I guess enough media. We already talked about the art of the week once again. Thank you.
Yes. So it's
thank
question
you, Noisy.
time.
I haven't gotten any fan art in so long. Or any awkward related one. I mean, the 90% of the fan art of the last couple of months was DA Radio fan art featuring Keyframe, so it is justified kind of for this show because it's still one of the two hosts being featured, but it's for a different podcast. Not podcast, radio. It's a legit radio show. It's 90%
a radio
music,
show. Yeah, so I guess what we need to do is get you on DA Radio as like a little co-host for an episode,
so that we get
people
even
make
more
fan art of
DA
you.
Radio related fan art
Yes,
to put
but
on
then
the
you're in it.
Awkwardcast.
But yes, then you're in it.
You know what? I will just get sick again and get pity artwork. That's my new mission now.
All right.
I'm not too cheap to get pity artwork.
Can people commission fan art of Max crying? Just like, why? No one draws fan art of me. All right, so next
questions. Yeah, I guess
yes.
Since we got plenty of questions last week and then skipped it, those questions are all still valid. Pew, 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 pew,
Yeah,
pew.
I had to scroll up a bit.
Oh no.
There we go. Well, no, because a lot of the other messages were people being like, "Get well soon, Max. Get better."
True.
People being nice, disgusting.
The worst.
So I have one from Monument to Your Sins. Would you rather live in the worst TV show you've watched recently or the worst video game you've played lately? So, would you rather live in the world of the worst video game you've played lately or the worst show you've watched recently? Does movies count? Because I don't know if I want to live in the land of Megamind 2. There's just villains everywhere.
The worst game, the worst world. What have I played bad game-wise recently?
Or a game you don't like, or you didn't enjoy playing.
Yeah. I mean, subjectively bad also counts. I mean, I would say it's not even bad. It just has its comically failings. Was Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda, which is like a lot of dialogue is fantastic, but then you come to the big scenes and they just don't land. the rendered they're not rendered cutscenes. They're in-engine cutscenes. They so often don't land. It's like, oh no, guys, I see what you were trying, and you failed in the most adorable ways. But that's probably not the one. Worst video game or TV show. What's the worst TV show I watched recently? There was something. I could swear that there was something that I was very unamused by. I mean, that's definitely a world you don't want to live in. But it is still competently animated, and there are good things I can say about it. Even at the end of the day, that landing, oh boy, somebody broke both their ankles when trying to land, and then smashed into the judge table. And for some reason, there was a cream pie that landed in everybody's face. I don't know. Does Eminence in Shadow count?
I would say that counts. I'm trying to just think of like.
Oh
play
no!
A lot of Oh, did you remember?
I mean, I'm not sure if I don't want to live in that world, but 100 Girlfriends. I mean,
here's the thing: you're not going to be the main character in that universe.
Obviously not.
But you also have the knowledge that some of the things that happen in that universe happens.
Exactly.
And it's like,
so that's the thing. It's technically just a normal anime world, and in one corner of it happens to be this Rantaro family thing going on, and it collects wacky characters. But otherwise, the world itself is just run-of-the-mill anime world. So I don't think. Wait, what exactly was the question?
I feel like the 100 Girlfriends one I would not like to live in, because I feel like I would always be watching from the outside looking in of that 100 Girlfriend situation and be like, at what point do I call the cops? Because some of the things that these people are doing feels
Nope. But yeah, there's also the thing of in that world, you probably would be, or I, as the person who gets transported in, it would probably be a high schooler, because there are basically no, unless I'm an NPC who runs a shop, but since everything is centered around this the Rantaro family, you would probably be a high schooler. So I would be in a high school that is literally sucked dry of dateable girls, because they all end up with him. So
with the one man.
With the singular man, yes, exactly. So that would suck. But we have to match it against the worst video game world we played recently. What are yours, by the way? I tried to figure out what video game I played.
Well, that was the thing. The most recent game I've played for a while.
Game.
No, that's the thing. The only games that I've been playing recently is Fortnite and Stardew Valley. Like it's like both these worlds are. I mean, I guess one world I could get shot and brought back, like I'm going into the Lazarus pit. So like that's not exactly fun. But like, and Stardew Valley, I would love to live in the Stardew world. Like that seems delightful. So I'm trying to think of like bad things I watched recently, besides Megamind 2.
I haven't played any.
Because here's the thing, I do try to watch good shows.
Same with me. Video games.
I know, crazy, right? I mean, like, if I had to pick the most recent show that I've watched that has just been bad all the way through, it'd be Velma. So I may pick that.
I wouldn't want to live in that world.
No, I'm saying that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the choice of the worst things. So it's like it's between Velma and living in the game of Fortnite, and it's like, I think I'd rather get shot.
Yeah, I hear you. I would pick the same if those are my options. Okay, so on my end, we have. It will be just as underwhelming. Like now we have being stuck in the in the 100 girlfriend world.
Or
what is it?
Being in the glitchy land of Andromeda.
Maybe, yeah. But then
not even you got the patched version.
Oh yeah. I'm playing in the modern current state
you're in
of the game.
You have the privileged version.
It probably was even a goatee, so I got a lot of the deluxe edition. Yeah, I probably got a lot of shit thrown in there. Where I'm like, I would like to play it with vanilla challenge, please. Don't give me the super gun from the game beginning. I don't think this happened in this one too much, so I believe I got some skins in packs also. But yeah, so I guess it's also a very easy one. Like in the Andromeda world, you might occasionally get stuck in a wall, but otherwise it's actual adventure, and many of the characters are actually likable as long as they are not in a in-engine cutscene. So, yeah, I would also take the video game over the show. That was a very long take on this relatively short question.
So long for such mid-answers.
I know, right? Okay, let's see.
The questions wasn't mid, Charlie. We are.
Yeah.
So, but
if we would have played and watched worse media in recent history, it could have been a lot more.
We gotta just be worse, you know.
Exactly.
But okay, so, do we have any on Twitter?
Yes, J-Rock even repeated, or not repeated, specifically brought the question back. So it's definitely we should honor it. For both, would you rather move to another city and have your dream job, or stay where your friends and family are, but have a less exciting job and social life? So basically, big sparkly, but have to move away, or staying in your stomping grounds that you are currently used to, but excitement does not happen.
This seems like a question that really just kind of hinges on the fact that, like, you and I have both very different life experiences.
I mean, yeah.
Because I literally moved for my career. So, like, I don't really have an attachment to family.
Yeah.
And also, most of my friends and group network is online, so location doesn't really matter. So I mean, it's one of the answers is literally what I picked IRL.
Yeah. So I guess we know what you would rather do because you already did it. And I guess at the end of the day, it's the same for me, as in, like, we already know the answer because I'm a very content person. So technically I also moved away for a job away from my old stomping grounds.
It wasn't like a dream job, you know.
No,
this is just, you're stable.
Exactly, and right now I'm don't feeling the urge to move. So I guess we can easily split.
This joke, this Would You Rather was just reality. Like
Exactly. So, back to the Discord.
I saw you peeking over. Is Rocket doing a thing?
Rocket is up and about, and he's eating, which is good, because he gave us some scares the other day when he didn't eat at all on Friday, and we had an emergency visit to the vet yesterday. And he finally started eating again today, and so seeing him up and about and going for not just for the blended
soupies
meat, exactly, not just going for soupies, aka blended raw meat, but going for proper meat again is like, good, you go, boy.
Maybe he was just watching his figure. He was thinking about me fat shaming him, and he was like, well, I don't want to be a fatty when Auntie Chrissy comes over, because then she'll make fun of me. So I'm just not going to eat and make that everyone's problem.
But yeah, more questions on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was...
no, Twitter. Sorry, Discord. We just did a Twitter. Back to Discord. My bad. We are such a good podcast team. Another one from A Monument for Your Sins. Ask Awkward. I'm sure you've probably been asked this before, but are you hashtag team cold weather or hashtag team hot weather? Ooh. Give me hot weather. Cold weather makes my bones hurt. I'm not just an ambivert. I'm also an ambi-weather enthusiast. I can go both ways. I really like nice warm weather where you can actually just run around in t-shirt, don't have to, or even less if you are in the right area. So I love my beach vacation, but on the other hand, I also like proper snow, like when we go proper cold weather, not just coldish weather.
Not just cold and gray sky. When there's actual snow on the ground, it can be fun. Yeah,
that's also great. So give me proper weather. Don't give me this gray meh of weather that we most of the time have here in Germany. Give me actual proper weather. No matter in which direction, just not this gray, uninspired meh in the middle that you get in Central Europe.
No, you know what? I will agree. Give me either boiling hot skies or torrential downpours or blizzards. Don't give me overcast. If you're going to be a weather, commit to it. We had like a brief downpour yesterday evening, and I was opening up all the windows in the house because just hearing there was literal thunder and stuff. I was like, hey, yes, I like that.
Also, chat, the question goes to you too. Are you team hashtag cold weather or team hashtag hot weather? Getting some engagement in here.
I prefer hot weather simply because I have old lady joints and bones, and I realize that when I'm cold, my bones just hurt. Yeah, and it's... I just don't you know what? Hot take. Bones hurting? Not great.
But yeah.
All right, next question.
Next question. This time really on Twitter. So, MutePony66, I guess all the other 65 have already been taken, asks, if you suddenly became struck with the ability to shapeshift into a type of monster at night, so basically the werewolf, what monster would you choose to become and why? So it's a night, but it's an ability, so it seems to be controlled. It's not a curse thingy.
It's not just during the full moon. You can actually just change. But it's
limited to the night.
Can I be one of those girls from Killing Bites? So I'm just getting claws and shit. I'd be down for that. They seem to get good exercise with their figures.
So just generally the Killing Bite.
Mutants. Just make it just make it mink. I'll be a mink mutant.
All right.
It's the partial fursuit of anime characters. if I had to pick like an actual like monster, I would go vampire. I'd be a vampire.
But only during the night. Oh, you just removed the downside of being a vampire. Because you only turn in it during the night, so the sunlight issue is not an issue anymore.
Yes. I'm playing 4D chess with this answer. I win. So, but yeah, so either a Killing Bites mutant or a vampire. What about you?
I was, when I saw this question earlier, I was like, no, I want to be a man of tradition. I want to be, we talked about nighttime, and I went in nighty-night mode.
God, you're like a bird. If you put a blanket over your head, you're just... No, you wish you could fall asleep that easily.
It's true. But no, yeah, werewolf. Why not stick with the good old traditional werewolf? I mean, the end product is kind of similar to your answer with the Killing Bites creature. Just with... No, but that was the thing in Killing Bites. It's so the fucking trope of everything, not just anime, but the trope of like dudes get fully mutated, full head of the animal, full lion head, full everything, like fully anthro furry character.
Women just get fangs and claws,
exactly,
and a tail sometimes.
Exactly, but still a lot of skin showing, which and with just the naughty bits being. Yeah,
just
barely covered.
I mean, their uniform in the show is basically a tank top with no bra and underwear. It's just...
While the dudes just wear pants, also long pants, not short pants, of course.
It's such a shameless show. I love it.
I need to come back to it at some point. I believe I lost it around the time. I lost, fizzled out for me when they just introduced the bunny character or so.
But yeah, a werewolf would be good. I imagine you'd be like the werewolf in Unicorn Warrior Eternal, the best character in the show. When he turned into the werewolf, because you'd be getting the control. You'd be like a werewolf, but not like the feral werewolf that can't control itself. I assume you'd actually be like cognitive.
Yeah.
You'd be the wolf man, not just a werewolf. The wolf man.
But yeah, back to Discord.
Why did I leave your? There we go. All right, next question. Let's see.
Who else is asking stuff?
Here's one from Enigma. Ask Awkward. There's been a lot of bad movies and stinkers since 2020 happened. So what's your number one awful movie that you regret ever watching and spending money to see? See, here's the thing. My movie regrets are things that are before 2020. So I'm just going to say, in general, my regrets. Here's the thing, it's also spending money on a movie, which is also like, okay, because there's some movies that I have seen illegally because I did not trust that I would like them, and I was correct.
Dun dun dun.
What movie do I regret? I'm gonna make my own parameter. This is me going to the theater to see it.
Otherwise, the regret is minimal. It's just
because
1.5 hours of my life.
If it's a movie on streaming, I could turn it off. I can flick back on Netflix and watch something that I've watched a million times as a palate cleanser. I mean, my only exception would be Strange Magic. We watched that illegally, and it was not even worth the illegal time spent. Solo. I really felt like my time was wasted with that movie. And that was around the time where I was still actively a Star Wars fan. And I wanted the movie to be good.
Solo was the beginning of the end.
It really was. Like, there's nothing in that movie that... I did not need to know why Han Solo has the name Han Solo. The only decent part of that movie was him meeting Lando and meeting Chewbacca. But everything after it is just like, why? And why is Darth Maul suddenly here? This movie was bad when Max just got up to go use the bathroom and he came back and it was like he didn't miss a single thing. Because it was such a nothing burger. That's the thing. I hate nothing burgers of a movie. I'd rather be violently hateful of it than be bored.
Yeah, but I believe that was actually wasn't this the other day in the newest trope talk from Overly Sarcastic Productions, the spaghetti incident.
Yeah.
And what they basically, or what Red specifically points out at some point, if I remember correctly, was that, that's why Solo kind of sucked. No? She went through all the length of explaining what the spaghetti incident is, as in like a thing that just gets referenced between characters. Oh, this is like back then, you remember Budapest very differently from me kind of situation. Like a thing we never as an audience are meant to experience. It's just like those references, that thing back then, which creates a little bit of mystique for a character, the illusion or the impression that there is more, and it can create camaraderie.
And they have a history with each other, all that.
Exactly. And what Solo does, the movie, is it takes all those spaghetti incident moments from original trilogy Han Solo and shows them. Completely ruining what they were meant to be originally. So I will link the Trope Talk down below because Trope Talk is good in general. Just watch Trope Talk. It's a great show. And it's still good. Red still finds good tropes to talk about. What was the
Solo
question?
is mine.
Oh, but yours. Generally, cinematic disappointments.
Yeah, you're a movie that you went to go see in theaters that you regret spending money on.
I mean, depending on how far in history you want to go back, the one that's
you can go as far back as you want.
So the one that's still to this day, and I had a phase where I intentionally went like on a weekly basis to the cinema. So I watched more or less everything that came in with the clear expectation and awareness that I went into movies that were bad. So the movie that to this day sticks out most to me about regretting, because I did go in with high expectations and came out so fucking disappointed, where I'm like, I remember seeing this first trailer for this movie and it was the most metal thing that I had seen, and I loved it, and I was like, yes, this movie...
Is this the original Suicide Squad?
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it.
Really, would you describe the Suicide Squad
the
trailer?
Trailer for
it was
the first
fun, but metal?
I feel like there was... okay, maybe not metal, but it was like... That trailer was better than the movie, so...
Oh, yeah, that for sure. But no...
I'm just trying to guess what this one is, because I don't think you've ever told me, like, this.
I probably have. You will probably have your aha moment in a moment. Now the problem is I've forgotten what it's called, so I actually have to describe it to you now.
Okay.
So the trailer is basically that you have cities, and I'm talking like London-size level of cities in this... I guess it's more diesel punk than steampunk. And this diesel
Wait, I know which
world,
one. Is that living machines or something?
No, they are machines, but they're not alive. So they basically turned their entire cities into tanks and then drive through the wasteland.
Mortal Engines. It's
Mortal Engines. That's the one. And it's like you have the trailer, which is like, yes, also Blue Lantern also got it. You have this city, which is a giant tank, and it opens its mouth and eats the smaller city to get all the resources in. And it's like, this is so awesome, I need to see this. Well, it turns out the trailer is just the first 5 minutes of the movie, and the rest is shit. It was such a boring, disappointing nothing burger. And I went in hyped. I went in fucking hyped, so that was a regret. I went in movies that are objectively worse, but I went in being aware what I got in for. And therefore I was like, oh wow, that was really, really bad. Oh god, I can't believe I paid $20 for it, for the ticket including the popcorn. Ho 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 ho. But again, I didn't come out with a regret because I knew exactly what I was getting into. Unlike Mortal Engine. So what was next question, I guess?
Next question. God.
I still got one more.
It says something that Mortal Engines was so bad the director hasn't done anything since Mortal Engines. Oof.
Yeah.
So what do you got on Twitter?
Apparently the book is not much better, so I'm not sure how far it drives off as an adaptation, but whatever. Final question on the Twitter from Fidel. For both of you, what are some memorable edutainment shows that you remembered growing up with as a kid?
Oh, this feels like more of a me question, because I grew up with so much edutainment.
I mean, me too, but I don't remember anything.
And it really shows, because I'm one of those assholes that needs to learn all the time. Because I need that dopamine that I felt watching edutainment and learning.
I mean, there was Sonic Set AM where they gave you very good advice. No, the other one actually. The other Sonic show.
It's Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog that has the Sonic Says segments.
Exactly.
That's no good.
Funny enough, I never knew about that show before Nostalgia Critic talked about it. Then again, it might have been on German TV, but even as a dumb kid, I was not intrigued enough.
Yeah.
Now, here's something. God. Since we have established that old man Ayn Wye can't remember shit, it's like a great question. I would be like, yeah, that would be great. But I mean, I obviously watched Sesame Street because
everyone.
I was about to point out a current audiobook I'm listening to, which is target demographic children, but it's still like written well enough that...
Oh, is this the boom boom boom, like the one with the text formatting that makes it
No, that is not edutainment. That is just if anything, that's
just fantasy.
Exactly. If anything, you come out stupider out of this, because
it educates you on great book formatting though, because
yeah, but it makes up shit all the time. The Walter Mörs books, if anybody has ever heard of it, the 13 and a half Lives of Captain Blue Bear. Fantastic books, but no, there's no edutainment whatsoever.
But what was your brain blast that you just had?
Die Sendung mit der Maus. Translated, The Show with the Mouse. Which
what a
is
descriptive
title. I
know.
You can go up to any German who grew up as a child in Germany, and you just do and they will finish. It's
like one of those things where it's just. It's like it is kind of like Sesame Street. If you walked up to an American and you were like, "Can you tell me how to get?" The other person would, "How to get to Sesame Street?" Like it's it's one of those things.
Yeah. But there it is.
It's been burned.
So this is the mouse. It's just the mouse.
What is this design?
And this is Die Sendung mit der Maus. It's The Show with the Mouse. But it's such a standing title. You can't just be like, Die Sendung mit der Maus, and every German will know it.
God, he looks like a cool motherfucker. Look at that face. What was the show about? Was it just like...
Edutainment. Just edutainment. You have those little animated skits with the mouse, the little blue elephant, and sometimes the duck. And in between... you have those animations, and in between there are always segments. Sometimes it's animated segments, like little story times or whatever. Sometimes they just go... I know how those... I know how sauerkraut gets made. I know how are they called? They are with the white fluffy sugar foam inside, and then just chocolate around and a waffle at the bottom. What are they called?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't think I know the exact name.
Those guys.
But like...
I know in great detail how those get remade, because Die Sendung mit der Maus had an episode where they basically went in the factory through the entire production process and showed the individual stages. But it was basically like a music video, because they played music over it, and the machines worked in the rhythm with the music, so they edited to this. And this is from the late 80s or early 90s, this episode.
I found some great pictures of this mouse as like a costumed character.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean, I see one here. This is disturbing.
That's the one I sent. That's the one I sent.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Who's the person next to him? An astronaut? Like, what is this?
Could be. I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, it's
oh
the
my
airport,
God,
so.
Oh, this costume front facing is terrifying because the mouth is so low when you actually look at it from the front. Oh no,
I see the front facing one. Yeah, let me share the front facing one. Some things are not meant to be looked at the front. Reminds me of my Pony Sona when I tried to turn it around and have it looking directly.
I mean, it looked fucked up because of the art style you picked in. That just had to have a creepy head shape. Also, the fact that your pony doesn't have eye shine, so they just look like dead doll eyes.
Okay, do we have a mouse thingy in between? So this is just edutainment about. Okay, this is a. Huh? We have the mouse controls.
That's a fish.
Okay, there's for example the little elephant doing a thing. Whoop.
Oh wow! Look at that animation.
Oh yeah, it's like.
I feel like I'm looking at like an old PC game.
I mean, the show is from like the. I'm not sure if they recycle old ones. This might actually be a current one, but they kept the animation quality going because it's kind of part of the charm. Bloop.
It's still running.
Yeah, I know. And this show is older, as old as me, if not older.
It's been running since 1971.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have my answer.
You want to know how old it is? It says country of origin, West Germany, and then Germany. this mouse is older than the United German nation.
True. Wait, what did you say when it started?
1971.
Yeah, this show is
literally
more than a decade older than me.
It's almost 20 years before the Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
like
this show is
that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's planes. There's Lufthansa planes with this mouse on it. That is
so yeah. What is your answer? Can you top the Die Sendung mit der Maus?
I mean no, because like no. No. I'm trying to think of like edutainment stuff that I watched, because I watched a lot of public access television like PBS, which was where Sesame Street was on for the longest time. And I watched a lot. They had like a lot of there's a show called Cyber Chase that taught kids math. There was Between the Lions, which was a Jim Henson show with like lion Muppets, and they lived in a library and they taught, and it had a bunch of like English and literary lessons. But one of my favorites was one called Zaboomafoo, which was hosted by these two brothers called the Krat brothers. And basically they had this lemur who for some segments was a real lemur named Zaboomafoo, and then once the lemur ate something it became a puppet, and it taught you just a bunch of animal facts, and maybe that's why I'm a furry. But like it also has a killer fucking theme song. Like it's one of those where it's like I was editing a highlight reel. I'm currently editing for the movie Dinosaur, which has lemur characters, and Saber just sees one of the lemurs and just starts singing "Me and You and Zaboomafoo," and like I had that stuck in my head all day yesterday, and so I just rewatched it, and I was like, man, this feels good. There's not any good. This is the concerning thing. How many of these like things that I'm listing either are still running but originated early on, or is like an old show? There's no. I maybe it's good that I'm not hip with the kids in this aspect, but is there any good children's edutainment shows now that are actually like, not just straight teaching but also have content in it? Like I don't think there is. I think we were privileged. Besides Sesame Street.
Trying to think if Bluey counts, but it's
Bluey,
not really.
Bluey is more like
very
value.
Little, yeah, exactly. It's very little learning and stuff.
Like here's the thing. I mean more in edutainment as in actually educating stuff, because you can argue that there is types of edutainment, because there's ones that teach you a specific subject, like Cyber Chase teaches math, Zaboomafoo teaches animals, Magic School Bus teaches about science, and then there's
Doctor
ones
Who
that teach
teaches
you
about history.
But and then there's ones that teach you just how to person, which Sesame Street also had, and I would feel like Bluey is also that. So like I feel like, or like problem solving skills and stuff. I know that like people can cite like Blue's Clues and shit like that. It would like you're learning a sequence of things. So Bluey kinda is edutainment, but more emotional edutainment, not like using your think parts. I want non-empathetic learning. But yeah, good question.
Oh, don't forget about the best one of them all. Definitely a form of edutainment, I'm sure. Good old Bibleman!
Oh my god, Bibleman. I watched the animated Bibleman at youth group.
Oh, there was also an animated one, wasn't there?
There was an animated one, and it looks awful because it was like a CG show. And that was played at my youth group when I was like still going to church. Why is Christian entertainment so bad? Like I mean, I answered my own question by saying what it is. Like here's my hot take. VeggieTales isn't good, and I don't get why people love it so much. I don't need to be told Christian values from a fucking cucumber. Like, duh. But anyway, oh god, Bibleman.
I'm not sure if this is... It says the unofficial movie trailer, so I'm not sure if this is bullshit or not.
Well, the thing is, I know that like the shot of like the hand on the Bible in the rain is based on like look up Bibleman show intro. They go so hard on the intro to Bibleman officially, and it's like, dude, your weaponry is literally weapons of faith.
What is this Ninja Turtle villain doing in there?
What is Shredder here?
Yeah, basic. Just okay. Wait, okay. Bibleman intro. Why does he have a lightsaber? Also, oh no, I believe I found the animated one.
But no, that's his sword of truth.
It's a lightsaber.
We should put Bibleman in our TV time rotation. It's so like it's like a film
great
noir
quality, yeah. I have a suitcase. It's empty now. No.
If we get a copyright notice for Bibleman.
Especially for this quality. No. No.
Why is Clark Kent so upset? And then you find, the mud Bible that you find.
Yeah, the best of all the Bibles. The one that was... Oh no! Aliens! Oh no! It's now also aliens! No! I don't want to be abducted! You can have my Bible! I just
God is gonna
it.
probe me!
The
Bibleman! Oh my god, those graphics! Oh my god! The lightning!
Why do they have all this scientific imagery?
Because, they gotta be cool with the kids, and kids love computers.
But isn't the entire idea that his powers are holy and not scientific? Is he just Iron Man, but
Wait,
with
can you
faith?
go back a little bit? Because it starts listing, like, actors. I don't know these characters' names. Some of them... Okay.
Starring
Wait, keep going.
Bibleman.
Miles Peterson. What a white name. Okay. Dr. Fear. Lucy Ludacris. And Coates? Who named these characters? Also, is Lucy Lucifer? Like, why is it Lucy? Like, this is so bad. Also, love the Comic Sans or Papyrus for your font. Just... Oh, God.
They check all the boxes. Every single one.
What's this show made in Canada? It reeks of Canadian. You
don't want it to be US American? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh my God, this show ran for so long. It ran from 1995 to 2010. And then it got released again for 2016 through 2020. I find it very concerning that it came back during the Trump administration. But, like...
I mean...
1995 to 2010. That's...
15 years, yes. Now name your favorite show that got cancelled after 2 seasons. And remember, Bibleman ran for 15 years.
I'm sorry, I just have to read the plot that's on the Wikipedia.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the Bibleman podcast. So, the show had 3 incarnations. The Bibleman show.
But Jesus only came back once, so this is 2.
The Bibleman Adventure.
The show is better than Jesus. It had 3 incarnations, not just 2. Sorry.
Happy Easter next week.
Oh yeah. We should have discovered this next week. We are living in officially.
You want to know You want to know the sucky thing about Babs and Easter being the time to visit people? And
so
all
there
this shit?
is no show next week.
I know there is no show next week.
But I did not know. I mean, you told me, but I forgot. But now that you bring it up, Babs is always on Easter. Okay, sorry, but you are saying something.
But
else.
It's also the thing of like Easter weekend, Sunday. God, there would be something really funny of doing. AWKWARDCast is innately sacrilegious, so doing it on Easter just seems like a very funny concept to me.
Would never have stopped me. But yeah, BabsCon is.
But yeah. So, the Bibleman show, the Bibleman Adventure, and Bibleman Power Source. Why? But okay, and then. So the plot. Miles B. Peterson is a wealthy man who turns to God and the Bible in his most desperate hour. From then on, he pledges to fight evil with the Word of God, disguised in the full armor of God. From, Ephesians 6:11, Bibleman fights against enemies using scripture.
Armor of God, ladies and gentlemen. The armor of God.
They have the names of the pieces of the armor of God.
Oh no.
So, the waist belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of peace, the shield of faith, and the helmet of salvation. His weapon is a laser sword called the Sword of the Spirit, which is the physical representation of God's Word, the Bible. While it isn't seen in the animated adventures, Miles was mentioned in Braving the Big Battle with the Baroness as an old friend of Josh Carpenter.
There is nothing more blasphemic out there than things that actual Christians produce, or religious people in general.
It's just... I love also just the statement of Miles's first 3 Bibleman suits consisted of a purple and yellow color scheme, but during Jesus our Savior he built a new suit which is silver and white. They're talking about these fucking anime arcs.
So the suit and all the computer imagery we saw in the opening, so it's literally not a God-sent suit. He is just a person who is just super faithful and built all this shit. So he is literally Iron Man, but faithful. He's just a religious Iron Man, and there isn't necessarily even God or anything supernatural in the show. It's just a dude who is really, really believing in it.
I just really like the idea of a sword that is the physical representation of God's Word, the Bible. Because I imagine him just hitting people, and all you hear is just random Bible quotes that people cite for their own confirmation bias. Not even quotes, just parts of John 3:16, John 3:16, John 3:16. It's like All Might's Detroit Smash, but instead of saying a city in America, it's just a Bible verse.
I'm not sure.
I'm too tickled by this.
Do we even have any question left that can top?
There's nothing that can top
Nothing
this.
can top Iron Man. Oh boy, to everybody who asked questions, which were probably pretty amazing that we haven't covered yet, we are so sorry, but you just can't beat the awkwardness of Bibleman.
Bibleman.
Ayn Wye and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. It's the awkward. Artwork and analysis, which you do not want to miss on awkward.